What's up YouTube, Dale here from Wargames. We're here with James, and of course James is bringing us his updated FA deck profile. Now this is a pure FA deck profile, none of the Zodiac kind of engine, even though it's good. This is as pure as can be, so you can show off as much of the FAs as you can. They got some fairly decent new support in Flames of Destruction, so James is going to take you straight through those. Yep. So James, without further ado, take us through this new version.
Right, so let's start with the monsters, as that's where we need to be starting with. So we'll start with the new monster, the Dark Designator. This one can only be special summoned from your hand. If you control a level 7 or higher FA monster, you can decrease its level by 3 to pop any card on the field. And it does the usual, gain 300 attack per level, gain a level every time an FA spell or trap card or effect goes off. So that's the Dark Designator, the new card in the deck. We've got the 3 Hang On Mac, which is our Dark Law. Once it hits level 7, one of the oldest ones that came in the deck, it's still a staple. FA Whip Crosser, play 3 of them because with the hand trap and whatnot, once this one hits level 7, can't discard cards, can't send cards to graveyard to activate effects. Again, all FAs except for Auto Navigator gain a level every time an FA spell or trap card goes off, and it gains 300 attack. Your opponent has to pay 300 life points to activate monster effects whose original level, is lower than its current level, whereas Hang On Mac is unaffected by monster effects whose level or rank are lower than its current level. We've got, and ranks as well, it counts ranks. 2 Auto Navigators, because it can be searched out. It's nice. People want 3, people want to do like machine dupes, things like that. The main problem, I mean, I might bump it up to 3, but the main problem is you can only activate and resolve one of its effects per turn. We've got 3 Sonic Maesters. This is your double battle on monsters, one of the weakest FA monster effects. Once it hits level 7, cannot be destroyed by battle with monsters whose original level or rank are lower than it. Turbocharger, if the level or rank of a monster is lower than it, they must target it for attacks other than your other FA monsters, and your opponent's monsters cannot activate their effects until the end of the damage step once it hits level 7. And being a level 6, it's only 1 step away. And then the Mecha Phantom Beast right in, because you've got the new Link plays and you've got ties targets. Next we've got the spell cards, so we've got 2 of the FA winners. It's a good little card to sit there, set off your monster effects, and people do want to rush and target it, get rid of it from the field. So this card, if you control an FA monster, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or by your destroyed by card effects. It's not a monster, it goes... so cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. When your FA monsters whose level is at least 5 higher than its original level battles an opponent's monster and inflicts damage to them, you can banish one card from your hand, field or graveyard. Only activate one of its effects once per turn. If 3 of your FA field spells with different names currently banished and were banished via FA winner's effect, you win the duel. So alternative win con. People want to get rid of it fairly quick, so they will sink resources into doing so. which means they won't be focusing too much on anything else. We've then got, for the spells, 1 set rotation, because now it's made it viable to play all 3 of the field spells, make people actually think about what they're doing. Foolish Burial of Goods, because there's a lot of stuff now that you want in graveyard. Field spell for the traps and things like that. And most of the spells and traps have in-graveyard effects. 2 Ties of the Brethren, because getting out the 3 main monsters is fairly good, especially if you can then power boost them all up. 3 FA test runs, one of my favourite cards. Target 1 FA monster, change its battle position, target another card on the field, destroy it. You can banish it, target 1 card that you control, destroy it, and then special summon an FA monster from deck. This is one of your few from deck summons you've got. And the popping effect is fairly good without needing to use Twin Twisters or MST, and it can target monsters as well, so that's a very solid card to play. FA City Grand Prix, the latest of the 3 field spells. This one increases the level of FA monsters by 2 during both the main phase and the battle phase. Your opponent cannot target FA monsters for card effects. Once it's popped and destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you search 1 FA card other than itself. Once per turn effect, hard once per turn. FA Circuit Grand Prix, we've got 2 of these. This one increases FA monsters by 2 during the battle phase only. If an FA monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, I can draw a card, or you can draw a card, and this will then proc all the FAs to go up another level. On popping, it then searches you out 1 FA card. 1 FA Grand Prix, Off-Road Grand Prix. This one's during the main phase. When an FA monster is destroyed by battle, you can discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. If this face-up card leaves the field, is destroyed and leaves the field, and goes to graveyard, etc., add 1 FA card from your deck to your hand, except FA Off-Road Grand Prix. And then we've got 3 FA pit stops. Reduce levels, draw 1 plus the number of pit stops you've got in grave. You can also banish it, but not the turn it was sent there, to special summon 1 FA monster from your graveyard. And that's the spells lineups. Might drop a few cards to do like Twin Twisters or maybe MSTs just to pop the field spells. You really want to be seeing them and popping them. We've got 2 of the new FA Overheat for the traps. So close to being the perfect card for this deck. If your opponent is the only one to control monsters, special summon 1 FA monster from your hand. If it said hand or deck, it would be the perfect card, and it would really jump up FAs, but it's only from hand. And if you do, increase its level by 3 until the end of the turn. So if your opponent normal summons for their turn, activate this in response, bring out your FA Hang on Mac and Dark Law them if they're a very heavy graveyard deck, or if they're going to be doing a lot of effects and they want to be discarding a lot, you get out Wick Crosser. But would have been absolutely perfect if it been from if the effect was from your deck as well. So hand or deck. but it's not, it's only hand, and that's a sad thing. And if you do summon it from hand, increase its level by 3 until the end of the turn. Bear in mind you'll then get another level through their own effects, so effectively you're giving them 4 levels off of 1 overheat. If this card is in the graveyard and you control no cards in your field zone, banish this card from your graveyard, activate 1 FA field zone field spell directly from your hand or graveyard. There's the other little bit of disappointment. Could it not say deck as well? You can only use the effect of FA overheat once per turn. You can only use this effect of FA overheat. Could have been the perfect card for the deck, and would have been a must-have at 3, especially with how low the monster count is. Got 2 FA dead heats. I want to run it at 3, but there's so much back row destruction. It's very vulnerable because it's got to sit on the field until your opponent's battle phase. They've got to direct attack with a monster. You special summon 1 FA monster from deck, which is what we need. We needed that special summon from deck. Once per battle, so it's not just once per turn. Once per turn is for the summoning. Once per battle, if an FA monster battles an opponent's monster before damage calculation, so they declare the attack, activate this, summon out, they redeclare attack onto an FA monster. You then activate this new effect. You can have both players roll a 6-sided die. If your result is high, increase your level of your FA monster by 4. So that's that again with FA winners, just means that when the damage is done, you'll get to then banish and you'll be 1 step closer to that win con. If, however, the opponent wins the dice roll, destroy your monster instead, so the FA monster disappears, and then they get to redeclare attack. If it's a tie, it goes back to another roll, so there is no such thing as tying with FA dead heat. It's either you win or you lose. And then 3 marshalling fields, because once an FA monster hits level 5, that's it, you can make them into level 9s. Onto the extra deck. So we'll start off with 2 Great Flies, because most of it is wind in the deck. Does the same thing as the generic link to attribute monsters. 1 Queethorpe's Genius, which will either be dropped for an FA Dawn Dragster or a Great Fly. This one's just in there because the deck's machines. We've got then 3 FA Motorhomes. FA Motorhome, once it hits level 11, it's indestructible. And then once it hits level 13 or higher, once per turn, you can target 1 FA monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So that's a fairly strong monster. We've then got 1 FA Dawn Dragster. Dawn Dragster, decrease its level and by 2 negate an effect. Negate activation of a spell or trap or card effect and destroy. Got then it's just generic stuff like 1 Nova, 1 Infinity, 1 Gustav Max for large amount of game, 1 Ancient Fairy because you can, 1 High Speed Droid Cadenma, 1 Crystal Wing, and 1 Clear Wing, and 1 Omega. And Dale's not paying attention, so yeah, I've been finished, and We're just sitting here waiting for Dale, having a chat with myself, just saying how some...
Cool. Well, that is James' FA deck, guys. Nice little twist in. Try to keep it pure. If you do want to change it out, obviously stuff like the Mecha Phantom Beast, if you want to, and the Marshall Infield, you can take that out and go in with the Zodiac engine to give you a bit more variety. But this deck can be very, very powerful, and with the new spells, it can level up very, very early on and still cause a lot of damage to your opponent. Again, this is another one that may get support when the OCG get hold of it, may not. Still, I highly advise picking up these TCG exclusives while they're all low rarity and cheap and easy to pick up, because if they do get stronger, they're only going to be harder to pick up. So do so, and that is our advice to you guys. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time, guys, as always...
Happy dueling.
What's up, YouTube? Thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left-hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings, and many more Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos coming up for you all year round. So don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always, guys, happy dueling.